Local stories from all the angles. Local Sky 3 news from the next level.
Conversations about CBD and the ways to use it in our lives has certainly increased over the years. That's not new to anybody watching, I'm sure, this morning. Not new to Dwayne Madden either. He has Hemp House here in town, 4 locations, and he thought today, though, he would talk about some regulations that are kind of new in the industry. Some of them, some things that y'all have always done.
We have.
At Hemp House, but you think it's kind of a good thing because the whole idea is to make sure your customers are getting the right product and that it is safe.
It is safe. That is correct. So we're not anti-regulation. We're welcoming it. It's going to make a lot of these shops in town really step their game up. And if you want to be a part of the cannabis industry, you're going to have to do it the right way. And I'm all for that. A lot of it's going to be your age restrictions. Packagings are going to be changing. Some stores may not allow you in if you're under 21. Just a lot of different things, again, that I think are just keeping all of us in check and saying, hey, make sure you're doing the right thing.
How does this translate, though, into gas stations and places like that? Because don't they sell some of
this
this
stuff?
stuff?
You can find CBD and a lot of these products in a lot of different places that is not their primary business. And so they are now going to be required to carry a license to sell those products. They are going to be subject to pop-in inspections from the Department of Agriculture and the Department of Revenue. And I mean, that kind of sounds like a headache if it's not something you're already dealing with. So I think a lot of those will kind of back out of the industry and leave it to the professionals who should be in charge of it.
Well, it's been several months ago now, and I don't want to get into a negative, but I remember you issuing a concern on the air to say, please, please be careful, because that's where you could run into something that's laced or dangerous. And
it is. A lot of the things with the regulation now is going to be about third-party testing. All of these products have to have testing on them. All of these products have to have a QR code on them so that when you scan them, it goes directly to those lab results. So a lot of legwork. If you want to be in the cannabis industry, you're going to have to prove it now. You're going to have to really step up. You're going to have to pay attention to what's going on. And if you don't know what's going on, then you're not going to know, because they're not sending out business owner information. Like, you have to do your due diligence and find this out.
The teacher writes it on the board one time and that's it.
And they put the date on there, and if you don't follow back up, then you miss it and it's gone.
Then you miss it, okay. So one thing with you, you manufacture some of your own product with Little Tree Labs.
Absolutely.
So is that something that's going to help you because you're really overseeing it daily anyway?
A lot of that'll stay the same. Again, it'll just, we may put a little bit more. Now, if we do any kind of packaging in-house, we have to have certain license. So we may move a lot of that to a certain location and keep everything in one place. But we've already been practicing a lot, if not all of these. We knew these were coming. This wasn't new to us. This isn't a shock to us. We knew it was coming. We were just waiting on some definitions of the rules, and they issued those out on July 1st.
Okay, so what you brought today are a few examples of some things you'll find at the store. You carry, I don't know if they're here today, but you carry a lot of things for pets.
For pets, absolutely. So we've got our charted chews here. We have a lot of different tinctures. We have quite a few different treat options in the store. Whatever your size your dog is, we could help out with that. And the size matters.
Does that also fall under these new regulations? Are those things affected?
No, they should not be, because you wouldn't be putting any THC products or anything in the pet products. So those will still be kind of acting just as normal.
Okay.
No real big issues with those.
So these regulations are THC specific, not CBD specific?
They are very much so. Very, very much so. Now, the QR codes, the testing, all of that is to everything. We're still going to have to provide all of that, which you should be doing already anyways.
Right.
But the most stuff is going to just be about the THC products. And, if we're being honest about it, THC gets you intoxicated. It should be regulated. It should not be in the hands of people underage.
Right.
It should be, we should know who it's going to, absolutely. So I have no problem with this.
Okay, and I think that's a big thing that you enjoy saying, is as long as it's fair, and that both sides are being heard, you appreciate some oversight.
I do, and I think Tennessee's done a really good job of that. They've always asked, we did a whole they issued a bunch of rules. They had some negative backlash from the community, and they said, well, let's hear it. They opened up a comment section, and they got over 19,000 comments. It was the largest response they have ever gotten to a single issue. And so they heard us, and they said, we said, this isn't fair to us, and they have fixed that, and so now we don't have to worry about it.
Okay, maybe an unfair question, but I'm going to ask it
anyway.
Try. If you were to go to your wherever and you bought a bottle of wine, nobody has any way of knowing when you purchased that bottle of wine. Are you going to go home and share it with 10 people?
Right.
Is it all for you in the course of one day or 10?
Right.
Right?
And they don't ask.
And they don't ask. And depending on who you are and how you use it, it could have any type of effect on you.
Absolutely.
So when you have like these bars here, I'm guessing that's kind of your version of the bottle
It
of
is.
wine.
It is. So this is going to be our Delta 9 THC chocolate bar, very popular product. On the back of it with our labeling, which is what, we're talking about the regulations, we have instructions on here explicit to how you're supposed to take this.
That's different than a bottle of wine.
That is different than a lot of wines. Wines is not going to tell you, hey, 1 glass, 2 glasses, if you weigh this much, none of that. No information. Here, have a good time and enjoy it.
Okay, but this does.
This does. It's going to have a serving size on it. It's going to tell you what we recommend. And before you leave Hemp House, that should be a conversation that we're having with you anyways.
Okay.
But it is reminding on the packages. We have some that are stronger than others. So where one may say start with half a gummy, another one may say start with 1/4 of a gummy.
Okay. And the same is true for these things back
Yes,
here.
ma'am, absolutely.
I think the takeaway is A, there's regulation to protect you.
Yes.
B, Dwayne supports the regulation. If you shop at Hemp House, you're going to get asked a lot of questions because your safety is their #1 priority. And then the main thing, 4 locations. They do local delivery, not on the weekends. HempHouseChat.com. There are the hours. Thank you, Dwayne.
You nailed it, Julie.
And you love it when you come here on days when the Humane Society is here, and they are in the house this morning.
The
When
dogs.
we come back, we are going to be talking about fostering pets. If you are looking for a little dog or kitten to keep you company, the Humane Society has plenty to go around. Also, when we're through talking with them, our great friend Rebecca Latham is here from the House of Color. There is so much more 3+U, so just hang tight. We're back in a minute.
In a world filled with noise, true strength is found